I'm a child of everything. I'm a child of all the cultures. I'm a child of this entire existence and without boundaries, right? So I don't know. It's like I said, it's very interesting. I would love to hear what our audience has to say about this.
Yeah.
How does ancestry show up for you?
And with what you were just saying before, like one of the so many other cultures have resonated so deeply with me, and looking at my language capabilities, um you know my my Spanish capabilities typically blow people away, because someone who looks like this should be able to speak Spanish the way I do. And also just historically being able to understand languages that I don't speak. Um, my joke is I communicate Italian, but I don't speak Italian. But even way back when, in college, for a while, I worked at a fast food Chinese restaurant, and the cooks were all Chinese, and only one of them spoke English. The rest of them only spoke Chinese. And on shifts when, because the owner was Chinese American, so obviously he could speak with the chefs, or the cooks. They weren't culinary trained chefs, obviously, in a fast food restaurant. but um but if the owner wasn't there, then it was always on Julieta. You go talk to them. You can communicate with them. And they'd be speaking to me in Chinese, and I'd be speaking to them in English, but we would communicate on some level that other people couldn't do. And sometimes I, like, all of these things that I don't understand of my ease of connection with other cultures is like, I know I've lived past lives in these other cultures, and I think because of that, and because I'll say the veil is a little bit thinner for me than some of the other people out there in the world, like I feel like I can still tune into all of those past lives and access what I know of them in this life and in this dimension. And I think other people are doing that oftentimes as well. They just don't realize that they are. And going back to love what you want to hate, like, to me, it's almost comical that in this lifetime you hate that person that you were in a past life. Like, if you only knew, you would just love them. And yeah, it's, and that this conversation and that conversation has also taken me, I think we talked about this on another episode, that I was an exchange student, back, high school, pre-college time. And the group that created that exchange organization were ambulance drivers from the world wars. And it was because, after seeing all of the death and injury and that they did, like, they wanted this to not happen anymore. And their whole thought process was, if you became friends with people that were different than you would no longer want to go to war with them.